The title of this video is Full Moon Capricorn, June 22nd, Astrology Update. So for the current astrology, we have a full moon in Capricorn. Now, first of all, before I dive deep into the astrological placements, I want to just share a simple few facts about Capricorn full moons. If you're unaware, Capricorn is the detriment for the moon. Therefore, every time it's a full moon in Capricorn, it's not supposed to be sunshine and rainbows. It's not supposed to be a good time. But if you have been working on what Capricorn represents, if you've been cleansing and clearing up the work 14 days prior to the full moon, then the full moon will be very pleasant. However, if you've been avoiding or delaying something important before the full moon, you will pay for it. You will suffer, because Capricorn represents suffering, if you like it or not. Suffering, toil, labor, the clearing up of karma. So have you been doing that? Is the number one question to ask on the Capricorn full moon. Because the way you work with astrology, you use it like a crystal ball, and you ask the crystal ball, what am I supposed to do today? The crystal ball says, it's a full moon in Capricorn. It doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do, but it tells you what's going on. It's a full moon in Capricorn. So then you say, okay, so that means I need to do Capricorn things. I need to clear up my karma. I need to take responsibility. I need to own up for my mistakes. I need to be an adult. I can't afford to be a child just sitting on my ass doing nothing, basically. Unless I've been already clearing it all up. So let's get to it. Somebody needs to be always held accountable on a Capricorn full moon. From my previous experiences and memories, every time there was a Capricorn full moon, somebody made boundaries with somebody broke up, somebody completed a contract, started a new career, sold something new in their business. All negotiations fall into the Capricorn domain. The law, justice, retribution, compensation, reward and punishment. All of this is Capricorn. So that is what you need to know will happen on a Capricorn full moon. Now, if you for some reason have brain damage, and you don't understand that astrology is about keywords, and you need specifics, be very simple. Look around in your life. Do you see some kind of a contract? Do you see a karmic contract somewhere? Do you see how something is trying to entangle you, something is trying to bind you, and you have a choice what to do about that binding? Because this is a cycle of completion. A full moon is about to highlight what the problem is of that contract. It's like you read the fine print and suddenly you notice, oh shit, I don't think this is a good contract, let me get out of here. Or maybe it is a good contract and you're just getting a good deal. It depends on where you are. Okay, so let's get to this chart. I'm going to look at this chart now. So let's see here. So the full moon in Capricorn will be on the 22nd of June at 1:08 Universal Time. That means the moon will make a direct opposition to the sun in Cancer, with Venus and Mercury also being in Cancer in conjunction. Now this is kind of an unusual energy, because that's a lot of Cancer. It's a lot of water. And Cancer is about your foundation. It's about what makes you happy. It's about what feeds you, what nourishes you. It's not just about food. It's about the interactions that are meaningful to you. Cancer is about cuddling, binding, glue. It's the fat in your body. It's storage, supplies, accumulation of property, protection of property. So why is this in opposition to the moon? Because of course it's about letting go of some property. It's about removing something that's very important to you, it's very significant. Whether this is in your family, a family member, a person, or an object. This could also be dealing with money matters, because this is the money axis, you know. And the moon is quite weak in this opposition. So even though it's a full moon, the fact is the sun is quite in a neutral position in Cancer. So the focus will be on the sun. The focus will be on Cancer. The focus will be on the family. The focus is on what is safe to proceed, to continue. And the moon says there's something in your life that you have to let go of, something of your past, something that needs to be removed. And this can be very uncomfortable because most of the time we are dependent on that thing, or it's something that we feel we cannot live without, but we have to be in it. We can't allow our feelings to dictate our decisions. This is why the moon is opposing the sun. Because you see, the sun, Venus, Mercury in Cancer, these placements very much want to make decisions with your feelings, with your heart. But you need to balance this out with your mind, with logic somehow. This can be indeed very difficult. And it is suggested that you have to use some tact. You have to be maybe a little bit adjusting of your tone. Yeah. Be careful, because whatever you do now is going to be long-term karmic consequences. It's very important that you pay attention now, because if you are communicating with somebody about something, make sure you are communicating in the name of justice. Yeah. There's a very strong desire to communicate your feelings, but I strongly recommend against that, to be honest with you, because the Capricorn full moon doesn't support it. Does not support. I would wait a few days for your feelings to calm down. At this time, be logical. When you feel something that you need to say it in a detached manner. That makes sure that you do not reap something that you do not want to sow. So let's see here. There's a square with Neptune. The sun and moon with Venus make a square with Neptune. You see, we are finally, thank goodness, coming out of a long square between the sun and Saturn. And you know, Saturn is about toil and labor. Chances are most of the toil and labor will be done at this point. So Saturn is in a much better position now. And Neptune, well, Neptune is about letting go, draining, flushing, removing, cleansing, healing. It's about connecting to art, and somehow there will be a tendency to indulge or to dissolve boundaries. Wherever you had boundaries in your life, in terms of your family, your money, your food, your body, you are dissolving a boundary in that area. And Neptune is basically about making things unclear, not knowing what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to act. And the key is to connect to your feelings. Because with Neptune, the Saturn as the depositor of the moon, Sun, Venus, Mercury, all water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points in water, because the sun counts twice. And the rest is all earth. You know, moon earth, Uranus earth, Mars earth. Only Jupiter and Pluto are currently in air signs. Is there any fire? No. We have exactly 0 planets in fire right now. And that is why I very strongly recommend against exerting yourself, you know, against pushing yourself. This is not the time to take action. This is the time to receive. to let go, to remove, to eliminate, solidify your position, strengthen your foundation. Wait until Leo season to take decisive action, to be assertive, to be aggressive, to be going outwards. Because if you lack the fire, whatever you start now, you're never gonna finish. No way. How are you gonna finish anything without fire? No motivation, no inspiration, no creativity. Right now it's an all-time low. What it is at the high is your desire to regenerate, desire to build yourself up, to strengthen yourself. So that needs to be the goal. And Mars makes a nice little trine with the moon and a sextile with Mercury and Venus. So Mars is in a very good position right now. So if you try to say no to somebody, if you're being firm, if you're engaging in a conflict and there's a dispute, a disagreement, this is going to be very favorable for you right now. This is going to work out for you. And there is actually a trine between Pluto and Uranus. It's been going for a while. And Pluto also trines Jupiter. So wherever you need transformation, wherever you are trying to create change, is also going to be very favorable for you. A change is now possible. So this is very good, you know. This is very good if you are trying to remove something that's been bothering you for a while. And on top of all of this, you don't really have many squares. You don't have many oppositions. You know, apart from the fact that the moon is in detriment, this is a pretty chill full moon. Very chill. So even though you are removing something significant and you are finishing a karmic contract, I don't think it's going to be difficult for you. So on top of that, there's one more thing to say. The North Node is conjunction Demeter. And Demeter is about enmeshment, attachment that needs to be reserved. Something that needs to be nurtured, invested into, to give it all the tries you have. And once you've tried everything, let it go. It's about good investments. It's about self-esteem, self-value, self-worth. So if you've been thinking about it in the last 14 days, as Venus has been conjunction Mercury, there's a lot of thinking about self-esteem. There's a lot of thinking about music, a lot of curiosity to maybe communicate what is important to you in your relationships. What you need from your partner, what you need from the other person. If you've been talking about this, chances are there's something that you need to commit to, and once that commitment is made, you cannot go back. And that commitment is going to lead to a loss. Yes, a loss. A loss that's good for you. A loss that's going to be painful for some people, but necessary. And once that is done, the moon will actually conjunct Capricorn on the next day. On the 23rd of June, the moon will be in conjunction with the planet of loss and renewal. So you are actually renewing something. You are losing something. And that is something you're very heavily attached to. You could reminisce if you had something or somebody that's significant to you in the last 3 months. You're going to revisit it one more time before you completely let it go. That cycle is finished. Okay, finished. If you're in a no contact situation with somebody, if you have removed somebody from your life previously, you're going to revisit that one more time. So actually I am doing that because, you know, it's just the nature of displacements. After that, on the 24th of June, the moon will be conjunction Pluto and it will move into Aquarius. And of course, Pluto is about a death, a significant loss, a significant change, something intense that is going to come up at that day. It's going to make you feel very emotional, but you're not going to be bothered, you know. You're just going to be like, yeah, whatever, dealing with it, and you're moving on. You're just leaving that situation behind because you're not going to bother with anything. This is a very, very detached moon, you know. It's all about detachment before the moon moves into Pisces a few days later. And at that point, everything will be cleared. Everything will be left behind. And as we're moving into July, we're coming closer and closer to Uranus-Mars conjunction on the 16th of July. Look out for the 16th of July, because that's going to be a very, very significant shift. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for some people. There could be accidents, deaths, there could be major things, you know, that is because of the fact that Mars and Uranus are conjunction Algol on the 16th. This is one of the most malefic aspects I've ever seen. Uranus is in its detriment. Mars is in its detriment. Algol, conjunction, and malefic. Both malefics. This is extremely negative transit, yeah, on the 16th. I'm very curious to see what happens then. Expect the worst, and probably it will not be that bad. If you're expecting something good, it will probably blow up in your face big time. Because Uranus is going to surprise you. Uranus is going to surprise you about a conflict that you're trying to resolve, and there could be an accident, there could be a mistake. So if you're expecting that, things will go in your favor, probably, because Uranus is about to blow things up on that date. And it's not going to be what you think it is. Whatever you think, whatever you're expecting to happen around the 16th of July, forget about it. You're not going to have any control on that date. Absolutely not. It's going to be a beheading, quite literally. It's going to be a cut-off of something. Could be quite dramatic, you know? So if you're thinking about cutting something off already, you get one more chance, one more portal on the 16th of July. But I really recommend that you are clearing everything that is not good for you, not good enough for you right now. Clear it now, please. Because if you wait after this full moon, there's going to be payback, and you don't want that. It's going to be very bad for you. Especially when the moon goes conjunction Saturn at the end of June. It's going to revisit. Have you been paying your dues? Have you been doing the work? If you have not removed those things that are bad, they're going to hurt you. And you're just going to repeat your lesson like a loop. Because this is really a time of finishing karmic contracts. That's it. That's all. It's not really about anything else, if you're asking me. Because all the planets are in a very good position. There's lots of trines, lots of sextiles, no oppositions of any kind. Just a full moon. So this is a very chill full moon, you know. You know, from my previous videos, you hear me how I speak very negatively about most full moons. Because most full moons have been extremely negative so far. This is not one of them. This is literally just like, oh, finally I can clear the air. So that's basically it, yeah. That's a full moon in a nutshell. Now, if you're interested in a personal reading, if you're interested in my services, you can check out my description down below for my services. And you can message me in any given time if you'd like to have a personal reading done for you. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.